All right, let's get right into it. The UK is currently going through some serious meteorological whiplash. I mean, we're swinging from nonstop rain and historic floods straight into a sudden, biting Arctic freeze. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down what's happening right now, the science behind it, and the pretty dramatic winter shock that's literally just around the corner. So, first things first, let's talk about the immediate crisis. Because right now, on Tuesday, huge parts of the country are grappling with a really severe and widespread flood threat. And we're not just talking about a few puddles here and there. This is a major national event, all thanks to weeks and weeks of relentless rain. And yeah, this number, it really says it all, doesn't it? 107. That's how many active flood warnings are in place across England. And just to be clear, a warning isn't just a, hey, it might get wet kind of thing. No, it means flooding is expected and you need to take action. So this one number just paints a crystal clear picture of how serious the situation on the ground is. And you can see the threat is especially serious up in eastern Scotland. The Met Office has issued a yellow warning for rain there. We're talking 15 to 30 millimeters for most places. But get this, on high ground, it could be up to 60 millimeters. That's more than 2 inches of rain falling on land that just cannot absorb one more drop. And that right there is the key to this whole mess. It explains why even a little bit of rain is so dangerous right now. The ground, pretty much everywhere across the UK, is at what's being called an absolute saturation point. Just think of a completely waterlogged sponge. You can't get any more water into it. After being hammered by record-breaking storms like Goretti, Ingrid, and Chandra, and with some places seeing rain for over 40 days straight, there's just nowhere for any new water to go. So why? Why have we been trapped under this miserable gray blanket for so long? Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. There's a massive atmospheric conflict, a real weather battleground, playing out directly over our heads. Okay, so imagine this. On one side, you have all this moist, mild air being pumped in from the Atlantic. That's our low-pressure system. But on the other side, you've got this massive wall of cold, dense, high pressure just sitting over Scandinavia. These two giants are locked in a stalemate right over the UK, and the result is that weather fronts just stall out and dump rain on us day after day after day. You know, this whole situation actually has a name. It's called a blocking pattern. That huge high-pressure system over Scandinavia is basically acting like a bouncer at a nightclub. It's just standing there, arms crossed, refusing to let those Atlantic weather systems pass. It's a meteorological traffic jam, and we're stuck right in the middle of it. So, who's the puppet master here? What's driving this whole battle? Well, it all comes down to the jet stream. This powerful, high-altitude river of air is way further south than it normally is this time of year. And because of its position, it's acting like a giant conveyor belt, aiming a relentless fire hose of Atlantic storms directly at us. But, and this is a big but, all of that is about to change. And I mean change dramatically. The battle of the air masses is about to have a clear winner, and it's going to completely flip our weather on its head. The rain is about to get shoved aside by an invading force coming straight from the Arctic. And just look at how fast this is going to happen. So Wednesday and Thursday? Yeah, more of the same. More rain, more gray skies. But Friday is the pivot point. That's when the atmospheric block finally breaks down and that Arctic air starts to pour in. And this sets the stage for a potential, get this, Valentine's Day blizzard as the last bit of Atlantic moisture runs headfirst into that deep freeze. So how does a pattern that's been stuck for weeks just break? Well, it happens in 3 key steps. First, the jet stream finally gives a little nudge and pushes that storm track south towards France instead of us. Second, that allows the Scandinavian high pressure to finally win the battle, expanding its cold, dense air all over the UK. And third, that sets up a wind from the north and northeast, which is basically a direct pipeline for intensely cold air straight from the Arctic. All right, so we've got the why. Now let's get into the so what. What is this actually going to feel like? Because this isn't going to be a gentle slide into winter weather. Nope. This is going to be a genuine shock to the system for the entire country. Wow. I mean, this table really just lays it all out, doesn't it? Just look at the difference. A city like London goes from a pretty mild 11 degrees on Tuesday all the way down to a low of -3 by the weekend. Up in Aberdeen, you're looking at a drop from 7 degrees to a frigid -5. That is a huge temperature swing in just a handful of days.
And of course, that cold isn't coming alone. It's bringing a whole new set of hazards with it. We're talking widespread hard frosts, the kind that make mornings pretty treacherous. There's a significant risk of ice, especially on untreated roads and sidewalks. And yup, the potential for heavy snow, with a real possibility of some big accumulations, especially over the hills in Scotland and northern England.
And listen, don't just take my word for it. The professional forecasters are using some seriously strong language here. They're saying the UK could be in the grip of a major winter event, and possibly one of the most significant cold spells of the 2020s. I mean, that is a powerful statement, and it really underlines how severe this is expected to be. So it all comes down to this one kind of crazy question, right? In the span of a single week, is the UK really going to go from a record-breaking deluge to a Valentine's blizzard? It is a week of absolute weather extremes that just perfectly captures how volatile our weather can be. So yeah, time to brace for the cold.